Hello and welcome to Dees20Stitches. I'm Dee. My pronouns are they, them. I'm a queer and trans cross-stitcher, designer, and educator. And this is my Flosstube. It's been a while because I dropped water on my laptop. So now you're looking at my account. You're being filmed on my brand new laptop. My wallet's a lot lighter, but hey, at least I am now connected. I have so much to show you. I've been such a busy bee. I went on a giant vacation. I had extra time on my hands. What? So I FFO'd a bunch of things. I have so many finishes to show you. This is going to be wet and wild. And wet because I did drop a whole bottle of water on my last laptop. My water is here. It is away from my laptop. Don't you worry. Let's get started. It's going to be a little chaotic because I have so much and I'm just trusting that everything is like in this vicinity. We'll see. We'll see if it is. If it's not, I'll explain it to you. I'll paint you a picture visually with my words. So we're going to start with just finishes. Fully finishes. A fully finished object is something that you take your cross stitch and you finish into an object. I have so many. I had the bug. I don't know why. I sat down here in my little nook and I did a bunch of finishing. I had the bug. I had the bug bite. The first one I want to show you is something that I have had on my plate for such a long time. This is Every Day I'm Hustlin. Do you remember LMFAO from probably 2012, 13? This is a pattern that I stitched in probably 2012, 2013. It's by Granniepanties AZ, I think. I'll put the link below if it's still available. It is just stitched on Aida. I was a big 14 count Aida stitcher because that's all I knew. But I made it into a bag. Look, it's got the lining. It's got that. It's got the little. Oh, look! I'm just gonna go to market, right? I had two of these, and I made the other one into a bag with the kind of reverse fabric. And I made that into a bag probably last year. And this one has been sitting in pieces on my little model there. It's been sitting in pieces for another year and a half. And, it was the summer. I'm not working. Might as well get it done. It will probably be a gift. And you know what? I fully recommend turning a cross stitch into a bag, especially for a gift. That way you can use it, especially stuff like this. Like, I'm not going to hang this early 2010s reference, early aughts reference in my house. I'm not going to make a pillow out of it. But it's so cute as a bag. And you know what? Don't worry. If it gets dirty, you can just wash it. It's DMC. Oh no! There's a pin in it. Oh no! Oh no! In real time, I just found a pin sticking out, and it's in there. Like, I can't get it out. What am I gonna do? That is later D's problem. Or whoever I give it to. That's their... Oops. Okay, so that's a FFO. The other ones that I had, again, I finished this a while back, and it's just been sitting in my box. This is, I think it's called... Yeah. This is Silent Wings by Modern Folk Embroidery. And I put it in a little teacup. Put it in a little teacup. Are we going to focus? See, this is the problem with this. It has sometimes a trouble focusing. It will get there, folks. I did this, I bought this, this teacup at a thrift store. And what I did, I followed a tutorial online. It basically is you make a circle out of your linen, and then you do a running stitch and you pull to make it like a big round ball, and you stuff stuffing in there. It's pretty, I would definitely recommend it if you've never done it before. Yeah, this is going to be a gift. If you didn't know, this is the cursed black anchor floss that I had so much trouble with. It was this project. It was a pain in my butt. This is 1/1 on, I believe, 28 count. Who knows the fabric? I certainly don't. But it was 1/1, and the black anchor that I used was horrific. It was like stitching with straw. And this is the start of the black anchor sal, if you remember that. By the way, update on that. I got it back. I got it back after some, it got lost, and then it didn't, and then it got lost, and it didn't. It came back to me. I lost it in my house. And so now I decided I'm going to send it to one person on the list, Michelle G, Bendy Stitchy, because she is going to the Pacific Northwest Stitch Summit in Portland, Oregon in September. And I just told her, hey, I kind of want to be rid of this thing. Get anyone who is there to stitch on it, even if they have stitched on it before. Use as much as you want. All rules are off. And then whatever you have left over, I will use in the FFO process. If you don't know about the black anchor sal, gosh, if you head back in my videos, I think it's number like 7, but I had this awful black anchor floss, and it was a curse. Everything that I tried to use it with went wrong. So I decided to take the black anchor floss, put it in an envelope with some linen, and I sent it to people who wanted to take on the curse, and people stitched a little bit of a motif on the fabric, and they kind of sent it to a bunch of people who had volunteered to stitch on it. If you've ever done a sal like this, it's so much fun, but it was more work than I thought it would be, just like keeping track of stuff, making sure it's moving along. I would constantly forget about it. And if I'm constantly forgetting about it, that means maybe it's time to put it to bed. So Michelle, Bendy Stitchy, is taking it to the Pacific Northwest Stitch Summit. I put it in the mail today. So if you're going there, stitch a little something, use some black anchor floss. Don't be cursed by it, because it is a curse. So when it comes back, I'll be able to show you it, and I'll fully finish it. And that is a real milestone in my stitching life, being able to do a stitch along where you're sending the sampler to different people. If you got to participate, thank you so much. If you didn't get to stitch in it, I'm really sorry. Don't worry. Hey, you know what? I shouldn't be sorry. You weren't cursed. You should be happy it didn't end up in your home. But thank you everyone who participated. I'm glad to put it to bed. It's been a whip on my mind for a very long time. So anyway, this is the OG Silent Wings. There we go. Okay, let's do this. I had a couple of my own designs that I FFO'd. This is Flowers for Sylvia. This was this year's Pride release from me. If you go back, I think in a couple, maybe my June video, I talk all about it. I talk about what it represents. I talk about the meaning behind it, why it's such an important piece to stitch for Pride this year, how it's open to everyone to stitch. And I got this little frame from my local garage sale. I don't know if y'all do it, but my neighborhood has their garage sale all on one day. So all the neighbors kind of buy our own, we kind of pass on each other's shit to one another. So I bought this frame. It's hard to finish. So I just finished it with paper in the back. And then what I'll do is I'll do a little hook here so I can hang it up. I've got a place. It's going to go right here. That's where it's going to go. So you'll see that this pattern is still available in my store on my Ko-fi. So you can buy that if you're interested. It's stitched with DMC on Cedar River linen, 40 count. It's gorgeous. It's fantastic. I was watching someone else who was stitching on it. I forget who was stitching on it. Forgive me. If you're watching, it's you. But they were talking about how the colors remind them of an older 90s or 80s sampler. And that's totally my feeling too. I wanted it to feel like it has been around for a while. This design has been around for a while. And I'm actually just drawn to those colors too. Okay. You can see every single wrinkle. Look at the wrinkles. I'm not a professional framer. And you know what? From back here, looks fine. Don't judge me. There's that I fully finished. Have you ever seen so many fully finishes in your life? I have not. I've never. Speaking of my designs, this is much less wrinkly. This is a brand new design that is just come out. It's good. Actually, I think when this episode comes out, it's coming out today. This is called Cursed Cabinet. It is original art by Kari, the artist I work with a lot of my patterns. And we did it for the Fangirl Fibers Haunted America box last year. 2 Canadians doing Haunted America. I don't know. So we made this cabinet, and it is full of references to haunted objects in American history. So let me kind of take you on a tour. Let's go on a tour. Let me see if I can get my lighting here could be better. The first one that people notice is this cat. And this cat, I believe the cat's name was Oscar. And this cat lived at a retirement home. Or was it was it a retirement home, or was it, I'm not quite sure. I'm just going to tell stories out of school. Anyway, this cat lived in a facility where a lot of the residents were on the path to passing away. What is that called? Anyway, and what the story was that this cat would sit on the chest of people at night, and the next morning they would pass on. Or the doctors and nurses and staff would find that the person will have passed on. The cat, I believe, was named Oscar. And there was a really interesting article about why the cat did it. Some people say that before you pass, your temperature goes up quite substantially, and the cat likes warm things and would just go to the warmest body in the facility. And that just happened to be the person who was about to pass. The body's temperature was being raised. I don't know if that's true, but it's kind of a spooky thing. Up here we have the Hope Diamond, the big one that I believe is in the Smithsonian Institute right now. I went to go see it. I believe it was, yes, it is Washington, D.C. I was thinking Chicago, but I'm pretty sure it's Washington, D.C. There's a whole history on the curse of the Hope Diamond. I'm not going to tell you the whole story because it's going to take 2 hours because I'm really, really excited about it. But go ahead and look that up. We have the monkey paw from literature. We have James Dean's car license plate number, Little Bastard, the car that he died in. We have my personal favorite, Robert the doll. Look at those dead eyes. I think Emily from Fangirl Fibers said when she had to print our patterns, Robert the doll was looking at her the entire time and she felt haunted. And yes, he is haunted. Robert the doll lives in, I believe, the Florida Keys in a museum. And again, he has a whole little history, freaky history. If you're into scary doll stuff, go look him up. You probably already know him. We have It. We have an upside down horseshoe. We have the black flame candle from Hocus Pocus. We have, I believe it's called the W box, which is, it's literally just a wine cooler. But if you are into those like haunted ghost hunter shows, they had this box, this literal wine cooler box. And it was said to have a demon inside. And it's cursed, and I don't know if it killed people or who knows. But it's a wine box. We have Edgar Allan Poe's Raven. We have a broken scrying mirror. There is a Black Mirror mythology about looking into the Black Mirror and seeing spirits. What was it? Paranormal America had a thing. The traveling paranormal museum has a whole story on it. We have a witch's bottle full of nails, and also we have, if you recognize it, it is the elixir of life that is used in the movie. Oh no! Ha! With Isabella Rossellini and Bruce Willis and Goldie Hawn and, oh, where's my, I'm just going to not look it up down here because, boy, could you imagine the egg on my face if Death Becomes Her? Is that it? Yeah, yes, it is. It's Death Becomes Her. I knew that the entire time. One of my favorite movies. Bisexual classic. So you have, let's see, did I have 13 things? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Wow. It does not use many colors. It's all DMC. This pattern is going to be up in Kari's store, just sold digitally. If you are looking for a fun Halloween stitch, I would recommend it, especially because of the cat and Robert the doll. Oh my gosh, they're perfect. So I fully finished this. I had got a plank of wood from Michael's, and my partner finished it. I did some staining. I got, at our craft store, the local Michael's, they just have like this yard of just random trim, and I loved it so much, and it went so well with this. I bought it, so now I have all this trim. What am I going to do with all this trim? I needed 2 pieces. So I'll probably be designing a lot more in these colors so I can use all this trim. Anyway, the link will be down below. Please enjoy. Please enjoy the Chris cabinet. Any other finishes? Yes, 2 more. Are you kidding me? The hits just keep on coming. Okay. First finish was a surprise. This is Lady Man by Bendy Stitchy Designs. This is a reproduction sampler. I can't believe it's a reproduction sampler because it's perfect. This is stitched on 28 count cashel. Here we are. He's perfect. This is going to be hung up. I'm going to frame it. I might even have it professionally framed. Spend money on it. Because I want it just hung up in my house. Someone pointed out I forgot to do the buttons, like the beads for his pants. I might not do it. I'm going rogue. Maybe I'll do, I don't know. Maybe I'll do some like French knots or something. Can't stop me. It's a finish. I love this. I love that it's a weird reproduction sampler. I love the house. I love the dog. I love the weird butterflies. I love the sun. I love him. Obviously, short king. Even the lawn was so much fun. I did it in satin stitches. Let's see if I can. There we are. I did it in satin stitches and X's. It actually calls for like just half stitches, but I had fun with this texture. So that will be framed. And probably not by me, because when it's done by me, it gets very wrinkly. I'm gonna have it nicely framed. So that was that, Lady Man. I bought a copy, and also to get it early, Michelle sent me a digital copy as well, which is so nice. But I have a paper copy, and so eventually I'll give it away. I'm not going to stitch this again because I'm going to have it in my house all the time, so I will hopefully give it away, and it will be to one of you, obviously, just between friends, right? One more finish. Who am I? What have they done? By the way, this is a bag from Alexis. Alexis, My Amazing World, I think is her thing. This is Shiny Things by Lindy Stitches. It is a needle book. I got the kit, so I stitched it on the fabric, but I changed some things. I changed I wonder if you can see it. The crows are shiny black étoile, and Shiny Things and the sewing machine were supposed to also be done in black, but I just added another color. I added a blue. I couldn't tell you what blue. I finished it. This was my car travel, stitch. So when we went on a road trip, I stitched on this. So that means I need to pick another road trip stitch. I have my airplane stitch, which I will show you later because I took an airplane between now and my last Flosstube, but this is specifically my road trip stitch. I would love my road trip stitch to be on like a 28 count or an Ada. But I just realized like I've been going really heavy into the 40 count and like small, and like that's great. I love the look, but sometimes you just want some big X's. Sometimes you just want some big X's. You know what I'm saying? And so I have to do some starts. Now that I'm finishing so much stuff, I have to do some starts on 28 count, 16 count, even 32. Something that gives me a break. 40 count is great. I love the look, but stitching everything on 40 count or stitching on things that are like over 1, it's getting to be a headache. I don't know why I did this to myself. Okay, that's all my finishes. Let's talk about starts. Okay, I had one start. This I started, I took a trip to Las Vegas, and the southwestern United States. And I brought something with me to kind of commemorate that. Sorry, the printout is in black and white, but you've probably seen this before. This is Ink Circles 5 o'clock. And I'm doing it with the called for colors, but I'm doing it on this spotted fabric. I think this is it 40 count? Yeah, it's like 40 or 36. I think it's 36. It is surprisingly a quick stitch. There's a lot of color changes, but there's enough stitching in each color that you get progress, if you know what I mean, right? So I got the margarita done. Got the full half. Now, here, you can see. So see how in the lemon up here, you can see the dot? I did a whole reel on, I love stitching on this fabric, but I hate the dots that peek through. And people just kind of said, oh, either switch or just learn to love it. There was just something, and especially if you're stitching one thread over 2 on 36 count, the coverage isn't there. I like the coverage, but you can see that dot. You can see that. You can see from far away and up close. You can see that dot. So what I did is I have a fabric, or a little like washable marker. It's in a brown. It's just this. And I just color very, very carefully, color each dot as I'm about to stitch it. Now, does that mean I can wash this? It means I cannot wash it because then the marker will get all over the place. But it's worked. Like, you can't see any other dots anywhere else. And I appreciate that. Boy, I appreciate it. So that made this a little bit easier to stitch. I didn't hate it. My plan is I'm going to actually make this a clock. So I'm going to get the pieces. There's some places on Etsy where you can just buy the clock hands and the mechanical piece. And what I'll do is I'll punch through the piece after I'm done stitching it, and I will put those clock hands and I'll actually make it into a clock. These are big man plans. I don't know. Will I be able to do it? Who knows? But that's my big man plans. I'm going to put it up above our bar cart. It's going to be great. That's my new start. Let's talk about what other whips I had. Took a plane to Vegas. And I'll talk a little bit more about my trip, but every time, oh no, I got crushed. Every time I go on a plane, I work on this piece. It's Mary Barton's work by Mojo Stitches. There you go. I don't know why my lighting is so bad today. This is my plane. I started it when I went to Denmark. And every time I'm on a plane, which I've been on a plane a lot, I take it out. It's on a piece of natural cast shell that I tea-dyed and kind of funked around with. So here she is. Lots of progress. I got the rose section done on this side and on the other side. So now I only have the flowers stuff to do. So I would say, like, depending on where I'm going, but like a couple more plane rides to and from. I got this going. This is going to go on my bird wall. You know, that wall I have nothing up, but I'm like, I'm going to stitch antique sampler birds and put it up on that wall. I never do. I haven't finished any, but it's going to go on my bird wall. So I stitched on that during my trip. I did some small stitching. Oh boy. I took out this beast. This is the Quiltify 2021 stitch along. I think it's just called the Vierlanden now. Oh boy, folks, you know this one. This is stitched on 36 count, so it's small. It's 2/2. This is I have all this on. This is how big it's going to be. And come here. I'm making my way downtown. And each motif gets smaller as you go down. So like I like stitching on this type of sampler where you can do a motif and then feel accomplished, but this is so big. But I got this one done, that one done, and this one started. My goal by the end of this year is to have it completed all the way down. So I know where I can cut because I have so much more fabric. This is, I think, it's a meter of fabric. That's my goal. It is on a smaller count, but I like stitching it. Is it a little monotonous with the colors? Yeah, I don't know. I have to be in the mood, right? I have to be in the mood. This hopefully we'll see some give and go during Sampler September. I would like to finish all the way to the bottom by next year. I would like that very much. Will it happen? Oh. So there's that. I also worked on, this is Hannah Harding, 1832. This is the sampler I started to commemorate my start on testosterone. And I started it on Cedar River linen. And I started on 40 count because I like my samplers on 40 count. I was into it. But I didn't realize the majority of the stitching is over 1 when I got the 40 count. So I am tent stitching on everything but the border. There we go. I'm tent stitching 1/1 on 40 count. I finished the leaves. I think you didn't see this leaf yet. Oh, it's this way. Is there mistakes? Yeah, absolutely there's mistakes. Do I give a flying fudge? No, I don't. Can't make me care. I started this with the intention of trying to mosey my way into a page finish, but for the first time my eyes could not handle it. I don't know why. My eyes could not. I bareback. I raw dog it. I don't have any magnification. I take off my glasses and I can see really nicely. But there was just something about 40 count 1/1. My eyes were aching, and I caught myself like, it's not worth it. Let's take a chill pill. Let's get something out. I think that's when I got Lady Man out because it's 28 count. Let's do some chill stitching. Again, for Sampler September, I want a page finish on this. We'll see how my eyes do. Do I need to invest in magnification? Is it time? I'm in my mid-30s. That's when it starts to go, huh? That's when your back starts to go, and that's when everything starts to go. I know you, my young spring chickens out there, my Gen Xers and boomers out there. They're like, stop complaining, you. I'm a millennial. I'm an elder millennial. I can complain. I can complain with the rest of them. We'll see how I do when I take that back out. I'll probably just stitch during the day. I usually bring it out. I'm a big F1 fan. So I usually bring it out when we watch the races because they're like 2 hours long. So that's some good stitching. But we'll see how my eyes do. So I finished Lady Man. I finished Shiny Things. I did a bunch of finishes, and so I'm like, okay, it's time to bring out to see how my eyes do. It's time to do some big time progress. And boy, folks, I have some big time progress. This is Strawberry Thief. So many threads. Oh no. It's from this book, and you can see the cover. You can probably find this book in your library. It's one of the cross-stitch books that a lot of libraries have. I have like 3 copies, so if you really want a copy, you want to do a trade or something, hit me up, because I have 3 copies of this. It's a long story. You can go back into my Flosstube. I would recommend it if you like that stuff. I like that stuff. This is on 28 count. It's a navy fabric that was given to me by my friend Nati from Acorns and Threads. And I actually use it for my other series. I use it for Let's Make a Statement, which you can see up here. But anyway, check this out. Look how much progress. Oh, wow. I only had this section completed, and I got it's over 50%. She's over 50%. This is 1/1 as well, but my eyes are fine. I think they just needed a rest. The colors are fantastic. It just is great. I love it. I love these big blocks of color. Gosh, she looks good. It's going away because it's September and I've got Sampler September to do. By the way, this is my Jasmine custom bag. Because look, there he is, Strawberry Thief. By the way, we bought 2 strawberry plants. And if you have critters, don't buy strawberry plants. So we had 2 strawberry plants. They weren't getting enough sun. We put them in the back. And then the squirrels got the strawberries. So we put them out front, right by our front door. And then my little dog Timbit discovered that they were edible. So every time he went, he checked out the plant. And if there was a strawberry that was just right, he ate it. I haven't had any strawberries. My partner has had 1 mediocre strawberry off of 2 strawberry plants. The strawberry thief is Timbit, my little dog. Worse. Okay, let's go. That was all my stitching. Let's go to other news and haul. I have so much good stuff in haul. The first thing, other news. So we have, Kari and I have a release, the Cursed Cabinet, on her website, and again, I'll link it down below. But I also had a release on my Ko-fi. So I'll link it down below, my Ko-fi store. An actor that has made a big influence on my childhood and how I formed my sense of humor passed away. Paul Rubens, better known as Pee Wee Herman. He was in a lot more than just that. But I first discovered him as when he played Pee Wee Herman in the TV show and the movie. As I got older, I watched the Groundlings skits, and that weirdness really formed my sense of humor, more so than any other actors of the time. Lucille Ball formed my facial expressions. because her facial expressions are so good. Ernest, if you ever watch the Ernest movies, those also, that frantic energy also kind of formed, but Paul Rubens and Pee Wee were so important to me. So with his passing, I decided just to do very quickly, oops, don't want to edit it, a little tiny stitch for the people who wanted to do some memorial stitching. It's free. It says how much do you want to pay. You don't have to, you can put 0. It's a memorial stitch, and it's something that I have not tested, so I wouldn't make anyone pay for it. A lot of people did throw in some money. Thank you very much. I really appreciate it. But it is the front of his bicycle from his big adventure. It's his little siren and horn. He had a little lion and tiger. So that's the front, and Rebel and Loner. If you know the line. If you know, you know. So that's available on my Ko-fi. If you are a Pee Wee fan, I might do something a little bit more with it. I might not. We'll see. But for now, it's free. So pick it up if you are interested. More haul. So vacation. My partner and I did a dream vacation, and it consisted of 2 things. Number 1, Las Vegas. For whatever reason, I'm drawn to Las Vegas as this like wonder world of stuff that shouldn't exist, but it exists. The kitsch, the just everything. And I know a lot of people are repelled by Vegas, but it's like a light. I'm a moth to a lamp. I love it. I love to let loose, have some fun. We didn't do a lot of gambling, but we did a lot of other stuff. So we went there, and then afterwards we rented a Jeep with a pop-up tent, and we did 6 national parks in Utah, and Arizona. So we oh gosh, it's so long ago. We did Zion National Park, Bryce Canyon, Canyonlands, Capitol Reef, Arches, and ended in the Grand Canyon. I cannot recommend this trip enough. It was so fantastic. I'm a big national parks fanboy. I have the passport with the stamps for the American one. I love the national parks, and Arches National Park I've never been to, but that hit Death Valley off my number 1 spot. Death Valley is also awesome, but Arches National Park was absolutely fantastic. We got the opportunity we woke up incredibly early because it was so hot. We went in the middle of July because that's when my vacation is, because I'm a teacher. It was like heat warnings, like 45 degrees Celsius. But so we woke up at 4:00 in the morning so we could get to the park before 6, so we could start a hike when it was nice and cool. We did a 7-hour hike through, I think it's called Devil's Garden. If you ever get the chance to go, highly recommend. It is you do some scrambling. You go up really high. It's not for people who have not hiked a lot. And of course you have to remember to bring a lot of water, even if you're hiking, not in July. But it was I love when you have things created by nature and then humans name them for what they look like. It's one of my favorite things on earth. I love all the arches had a name. I love that. When we went to Bryce Canyon, there is a rock formation that the National Park Service called Hat Shop. And it's just, if you close your eyes and you think a bunch of rocks with hats on them, that's what it was. There's alligator rock that look like an alligator. There's the whale back. It looks like a giant whale. I love it. Arches has so many. There is even one that looked like a penis. Anyway, throughout my travels, we went to a place called the Cameron Trading Post in Navajo Nation. This is, and I had to double check, because, who was it, Imogene? Someone messaged me about the ownership of the Cameron Trading Post. I had previously said it was owned and operated by Navajo Nation. That is not correct. It is independently owned, but after writing to our artist who took us on a tour, it is Navajo Nation has first employment rights, so everyone who works there is from Navajo Nation, and in the gallery section, they only sell Indigenous artists' work. And that's really important. So I bought part of the pieces were a lot of it were weaving, Navajo weaving, which is fantastic. I bought this at the gallery. And this is a Navajo rug. The rug is there at the original rug is there at the Cameron Trading Post in the gallery. So just another memento. It was kitted. It was kitted in 14 count fabric. It's kitted in DMC. What I might do is I might over dye the DMC to give it kind of a multi-dimensional feel, and I'll do it on like a 28 count cash out. So that was my little souvenir. Let's see. Okay, other stuff that came to me. I got a package from Michelle Bendy Stitchy because I was on the lookout for this. I have not stitched on fox and rabbit linen. I hear so much about it, but there's not a lot of places in Canada that carries it. Traditional stitches will order you in, but by the time you order it, it takes forever. So I was looking for a piece of fabric because, a very specific piece, because Kari and my next unicorn is going to go on this. This is 32 count fossil. I really like it. So again, if you're into the unicorns, fossil, fox and rabbit, that's going to be our next one. I rushed it because I wanted to get the unicorn out in August, but it's so large. Model stitching it, the turnaround time was not good. So I was panicking over this, and then by the time this got to me, and by the time I went on vacation, it didn't happen this time. So next summer, fossil, get your fossil ready, fox and rabbit. I have heard wonderful things about fox and rabbit, supporting designers, and I've heard nothing but good stories about the two of them. So fossil, I wanted to design on their fabric, fossil. Someone warned them. Someone warned them that the next unicorn is going to be on that. I will tell you, the next unicorn is based on the Progress flag. It's fantastic. I know a lot of people were asking for different flags. I know the bisexual flag was requested, but here's the thing, like, Kari is finding the inspiration, and if Kari doesn't have inspiration, then we don't do it. And the inspiration that Kari felt was the Progress Pride flag. It's fantastic. He is powerful. He is, it's, wow. I'm so excited to get it out into the world. So look for it next summer. I would also sign up for our newsletter, the Kari and Dee newsletter, because you will get a preview of it first. I don't know if I showed this before. Michelle also sent me some flower silk, and it's trans. You can't. It's hard to see. It's white, pink, and blue. I don't think it's called Aphrodite's Seashell. So it's like one of those like accidentally trans things. So thank you, Michelle. Thank you for supporting another designer. I appreciate it. Designers supporting designers. This is what we need. By the way, if any other designers need my secrets, I am an open book. And also, if any people who do boxes want a little bit of Kari and Dee in their boxes, we are thirsty to work with more people to put our designs in their boxes. So get at me. So there's that. I wanted to show you too. I did some experimentation. My best bud in the world is a yarn dyer, and they left me their dyes. It's up there. I should get them. Oh! Look, Arches National Park. It's this stuff. Dharma Trading Company. So I had some fun with them. I dyed, this was 40 count fabric in some real fun colors. Can you see? Can you see? This one I love. It smells good. What did I do to it? This one's called Wasabi, I think. So I always have trouble finding bright color 40 count, even though I just complained about, I don't want to do 40 count anymore. I always have trouble finding bright colored 40 count. So these were just some swatches. These are just some experiments. We'll see what I do with them. Or I'll just send them out to y'all, right? We'll have some fun with them. I can read you the names in case you're interested. Seafoam, lavender, shiitake mushroom. Shiitake mushroom was that like darker one. Wasabi, plum blossom, and pagoda red. So, maybe. You know what? Go out and dye. I was going to say go out and die, but that's threatening. Go out and have fun. Go out and have fun. Okay. There is also some VIPs, and I want to talk about it. So, the Isle of Britannia had some cool stuff hanging out. I'm a big Discworld fan. Forget Harry Potter. You don't need it in your life for more reasons than one. Get into Discworld. So much better. So I saw that Discworld, Terry Pratchett, they were doing some commemorative stamps, and I put it out there. I said, hey, if you live in Britain and want to send me a stamp, 2 people sent me some cool stuff. Helen, the Ditty Stitcher, and Jessie, Wild Stitches. They sent me, gosh, that's Lizzie. It's in my bag. Okay. Oh no. First of all, this is what I really wanted. Postcards. I love, as you know, I do snail mail every month. These postcards. I might frame the Vimes one. And then Warhammer. My partner's a big Warhammer fan. I also got some Wallace and Gromit ones. But I have already started using them because I love them so much. I didn't get any stamps. It was weird. I got this. the like envelope, and they had, I thought there was supposed to be stamps in here, but there was no stamps in here. It's just like telling you there's the Aardman Classics. I love the envelopes. I'll send some snail mail in the envelope. I think that's so much fun. Discworld. With Terry Pratchett. Oh. You are just feeding my snail mail obsession. I also got floss too. Was Josie, did you hand dye this? I think. I love it. Fantastic. Fantastic colors. Let me take it out. Let me take it for a ride. Ooh. Look at these. Like sherbet. Fantastic. That one's a bisexual dream right there. Fantastic, fantastic. I love when people send me flosses. So much fun. Oh, and Helen also sent these two Brits. Actually, three. I'll talk about another Brit. But, like, y'all are... all the sins that the island of Britain has committed, not the colonial ones, you can't take back those, but like the other ones that affect me personally are partially forgiven because these Brits are really holding it down. I also got this from Helen. I believe it was a prize from a top surgery fundraiser. And his little poem called Transjoy. And I can't read it to you because I will break into tears. But Helen said in her letter that I think you should have it. I also got a little sticker. I also got some needle minders. Just when these things arrive in the mail. And I never expect anyone to send me anything. You don't need to. But getting something in the mail... so unexpected. It brings so much joy, especially when it's tough, right? When it's tough days. I'm just looking through my... Oh! This is Josie stitched this. This is Sam Vimes from Discworld. The quote was, I think she put the quote, it's something about, yeah, your desk is clean, but you put everything on your floor. This is gonna, actually, my partner wants this for his desk. He's a big Discworld fan too. Oh, just a wealth. And I stuffed everything in this bag. Okay, so that happened. And then I was informed that Kari and I was in this magazine. This is the World of Cross Stitching. I've not ever bought a cross stitch magazine, so I didn't know what to expect. But Kari's website was shouted out in one of the little things, and I don't know how they found us. I don't know how that works. No one like interviewed Kari or I, but it's just someone, I guess, was like creeping around Instagram and said, hey, this website's cool. Oh, here we go. Websites you love. Look, it's Kari's website. And they mentioned me too. Dees20Stitches, that's me. Helen sent me 2 copies. Helen, VIP. And my friend Lizzie. I think it was Mrs. Fisher Stitches. I just know Lizzie. I know the picture. Lizzie sent me another one. And a nice National Trust. And some floss. This is Timbit floss. It's Timbit color. So I have 3 of these. This one's mine because I opened it. I gave one to Kari today because Kari wanted one too. And then I have an extra, and Helen said with the extra I can do a giveaway. So I will be sending this magazine. And there's a tiny modernist little bauble kit in the packaging, so you get that too. a lot of, I didn't know what was in cross-stitch magazines. A lot of it doesn't appeal to me. But then there's like this. This is a Palestinian designer. So they're really branching out. That's gorgeous. I love that so much. It's fantastic. So kudos, World of Cross Stitch. When I'm done with the stuff that I want to stitch, because there's a couple things that I wanted to stitch. They have like, there's one with mushroom letters I really like. I'll be pulling it apart and cannibalizing it and giving out the patterns that people want. But this this Snail Mail Club, I will be giving away a copy. So, yeah. Thank you, Helen and Josie and Lizzie. Y'all are British VIPs. I appreciate your thought. You brought joy into my house, and I need it. So thank you so much. And I will be sharing the wealth. I will be absolutely sharing the wealth because I got so much. Okay. We are going to do some, how much? Oh, an hour. Boy. We're going to do some, the Snail Mail Club, and I'll talk about that in a bit. But at the end of every episode, I do a little bit of education, specifically queer and or trans education. Oh, my back. I don't have usually have a big spiel, but I want to kind of talk about what's happening in my life, and also kind of touch on some stuff that's happening in the news. So, I'm open with my active transition because I'm an educator. People find it useful. Not all trans people want you to know their business, so just be aware of that. I have been medically transitioning for about a year coming up, and in the next 3 months I will be doing my first gender affirming surgery. I will talk a little bit more about it when the time comes because I'm a little nervous about it, and I will share that experience with you. But it is coming up hopefully in the next 3 months. I've been waiting for this for a very long time. And it is just because I live in Canada, and a lot of people think Canada's a very like free and open trans medical care thing. Even in British Columbia, which is very liberal. But I live in a city and a health organization that isn't as liberal, so I had a lot more hoops to go through. But I'm here. I will talk about it when I get to it. I want to talk about the experience after it happens, but in the next 3 months I will be in the hospital and a piece of me will be gone. So when that comes, I'll talk about it. But I kind of want to talk about gender affirming healthcare. There is an article that just came out that was talking about the skyrocketing gender affirming surgeries that is happening in the States. And it's true, it's happening. The numbers have gone up. And a lot of people are screaming that this is happening because transness is a social contingent, that kids and youth and people see trans people online and they also want to be trans, like it's a virus or something, and so they decide to have top and bottom surgery. That's not how it worked. That's not how it works. You and I know it's not how it works, but this is what people say. It is true that the number of surgeries are going up, and that is because of the oppressive anti-trans laws that are coming into place now and that are coming in the future. Trans people are scared. They're scared that they won't be able to get the healthcare they need when they need it. And so they're pushing forward. They're pushing timelines forward. I know I am. Because it's happening. It's going to happen. It's happening in Canada too. I'm sorry if there was like a cut in between there, because I probably had to cut a big chunk because emotions. Yeah. Anyway, the article is down below. Please read it. And hopefully this made sense, because I had to cut a lot of it. We'll see. We'll see how I do. Okay. It's 1:16. It's time. Every month, every Flosstube, I do a snail mail. And what happens is you sign up to my Google Forms. You put your name and your address in there, and you comment on my videos. And if I pick you, I just send you some snail mail. I'll send you something. So this time, I said, I finished this last time. Ink circles, arranging seashells, and I have all the floss. I bought the fancy floss, but I ended up just using DMC. So this is going to go to, and I'm just going to use a random comment picker. Stitchy Rin. And it's funny because Rin says, my prize from Spring Fling came in as I was watching this video. Well, guess what, Rin? You won another prize. I'll be sending it to you this week or next week or whatever, this month. And then next month, if you leave a comment down below, I'll probably send you maybe a magazine, maybe a pattern. Who knows what I'll send you. Just make sure that you're over 18. You put your address in the Google form, and you leave a comment. I read all of them. I don't respond to all of them, but I read all of them. I like them. Okay, that was it. That was messy. I'm sorry it was so messy at the end. If you learned something, if you want to support me, I have a Ko-fi down below. You can also support me by buying something from my store. You can support me and Kari by buying something from Kari's store. I'll have the link down below. You can do all that. I'm about to go into a new adventure, which is working for the public school system. So hopefully I'll have some time to do this. I try at least once a month. So hopefully I'll see you in September for Sampler September. I can't wait to show you all the samplers I'm going to work on. Okay. It's dinner time and I'm hungry. I'll see you later. Bye!